Hello, welcome back. I'm Data Darkness and this is Confessions from the Darkside, and I have Hawtt from the other side. Some news about a new movie that has just been released, and apparently between France and the UK it's not been well received by the audience. Again, it's October, it's going to be a horror movie and it's a gore movie. If you've not seen the rest of the Terrifiers, then maybe you should fucking watch them first and actually know what you're actually letting yourself in for. But hey, so I have an article from Bloody Disgusting, because there's been a few articles all over the place between the Independent and God knows other things that are really exacerbating this movie and making out that it's like the second coming of like Christ and stuff. It's just like, what the fuck? It's getting total Exorcist treatment like it was in the 70s. People running at the cinema, people crying, people being sick, and warnings. Are you kidding me? Have you seen what Art looks like? He's fucking funny looking. Holy shit. So Terrifier 3 is the first horror movie France has banned minors from seeing since Saw 3 in 2006. Now, I've seen Saw 3. Why? It's a body horror movie. If it's not for the faint-hearted, and I didn't think it was particularly that great either, but hey. In the wake of Damien Leone's slasher sequel Terrifier 3 making waves over the United Kingdom after multiple people walked out of the premiere bullshit, the classification committee over in France is drawing a line and quite literally banning minors from seeing it. Terrifier 3. When you say minors, it's like, well, they shouldn't be at the cinema for something that is an 18 in the first place. So if they're getting into the movie, then that's all on the people at the cinema, isn't it? And the movie theatre's not checking ID and stuff, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't be fucking getting in to see it in the first. But hey, the classification committee over in France has drawn the line, quite literally banning minors from seeing Terrifier 3. First for the horror genre since release of director Darren Lynn Bousman's Saw 3 back in 2006, the classification committee in France has recommended a ban on the film for minors under 18. Distributors ESC Editions, Shadows Film and Factories Films have let us know. In other words, anyone under 18 is not admitted into theatres to see Terrifier 3. Again, it's an 18, which is an R-rated movie. What part is that not making any sort of... I'm so fucking confused that a minor shouldn't be going into that movie anyway. If I found out my kid was at it, I probably wouldn't be particularly happy. My kid likes horror, so he kind of enjoys it, but would I subject him to a movie like that? I think he's far too young for the concept in a lot of these films. His mind is still growing, but hey, however. I'm just a overprotective parent, obviously. This particular rating is rarely used, and it's the equivalent of an MPA's NC-17 rating in the United States. In the States, Terrifier 3 will be released in theatres. Fully unrated, yet we're going to get what? Fucking edited and people still fucking walking out the cinema. Okay then. French distributors tell Bloody Disgusting we can only deplore this unexpected final decision, which will seriously hamper the release of the film, awaited by tens of thousands of French viewers and scheduled for October 9th, and of course maintained. Terrifier 3 is a film in the purest tradition of slasher genre, which is with perfectly grand and unrealistic violence. Yeah, the film never takes itself too seriously, exactly, and we know that viewers will have the necessary distance and maturity to understand and appreciate the artistic approach. Well, you would think, wouldn't you? In addition, for over 2 years now, we've been working daily and tirelessly to defend free, creative and radical genre cinema, systematically acclaimed by the press and audiences alike. The teams continued the audiences for these films, even teenagers, is a passionate cinephile, respectful of the works in the cinema that show them. The history of genre cinema, its excesses and outrages, is intimately linked to the history of cinema by a serious decision with a disturbing message, isolating authors and distancing them from the public. We reached out to Saw 3 director Darren Lynn Bousman, who has lived this very experience, for comment, and he tells Bloody Disgusting, hell yes, wear this like a badge of honour. Fuck yes. Bousman adds, art should make people uncomfortable. Exactly. The third installment of the Saw franchise was banned for minors back in 2006 by France's Minister of Culture, who declared that the movie contained incessant and unbearable sadism. Reuters described the 18 plus rating as used only in exceptional cases judged too extreme for the 16 plus rating normally applied to mainstream films containing sex or strong violence. Oh, seriously? Oh, and Terrifier 3, directed once again by Damien Leone, Terrifier and Terrifier 2, the Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton, is set to unleash another round of chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles County as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. After surviving Art the Clown's Halloween massacre, Sienna and her brothers are struggling to rebuild their shattered lives. Of course they would. As the holiday season approaches, they try to embrace this Christmas spirit and leave the horrors of the past behind. But just when they think they're safe, Art the Clown returns, determined to turn their holiday cheer into a new nightmare. The festive season quickly unravels as Art unleashes his twisted brand of terror, proving that no holidays. The returning cast include Lauren Lavera, who plays Sienna, Samantha Scafidi, Victoria Hayes, Elliot Fullman, who plays Jonathan Shaw, and AEW superstar Chris Jericho, who plays Burt, with Daniel Roebuck set to debut as his Santa Claus. Makeup and effects legends Tony Savini, Jason Patrick, Antonella Rose, Chrissy Fox, Clint Howard, and John Abrams will also appear. So, in the UK, people are terrified to their very core. I laughed when I read that. Also, they're giving people advice to reach out for help if needed. I'm smiling when I say this because why are you going to see these movies if you can't handle the concept and what they're about? Why are you going to see a movie then bitching about how violent and gorific it is when it's a fucking horror movie? It's October and hello, spooky season is upon us. It's fucking laughable. It fucking is. I just can't believe it. I'm feeling like a pure like Nicolas Cage face right now. I'm just like shocked and appalled by the fact that, oh my god, a horror film is scaring people. Holy shit. I find Art funny. That's the thing. I find him incredibly funny and he's a maniac, and I think there's just like this fine line between mania and humour, especially in horror. And it's a slasher movie. It's supposed to be like, they were created to be like that. That's why we have people like John Carpenter and Wes Craven creating these slasher movies that have evolved and grew the horror genre for many, many decades and will continue to, and making so many people want to make their own horror movie and actually explore storytelling. But we have people crapping themselves, puking, and being physically shaken. Seriously? Physically shaken? I'm physically shaking with laughter that this is what the articles that are in the newspapers in the UK trying to ban horror movies in October. Have you seen Terrifier 3 or the trailer? Are you going to be so shocked and appalled that you literally puke in the cinema? I can't imagine being sick in the cinema, like, ever. That's just so embarrassing for you and everyone else and the people at the cinema. Do you need to call someone? Do you need an adult to adult you and get you through this movie? Please let me know in the comments below. If you want to catch us in social media, you can catch me, Lady Darcy Darkness, which is Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. And that's Behind the Mash Reviews. And Lunar is Lunar X Rising, and he has a Twitch and Instagram and a YouTube too. If you want to reach out to us via email, if you think there's any articles, any stories, any movies, or anything that you think we might find interesting, all lowercase, all one word, confessions from the darkside at gmail.com, which is for the podcast. And for us as individuals, you'll have Behind the Mash Reviews, and the spelling is up on screen right now. Yes, it's annoying. Get used to it. At gmail.com. And Lunar X Rising is lunarxrising at gmail.com. And that was bloody disgusting, and how they're covering how France can't handle a horror film and is banning minors who shouldn't be fucking at it in the first place, and how America's getting the unrated one and we're fucking not, and still people are bitching about it. Let us know in the comments below, do you think this is a needed rant? Is this funny? Is this as funny as it was for me as it is for you? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.